like we're talking about.
He's got to cool that off a little bit of how he finishes those runs. The first part of the run I love.
100%.
The finish, not so much.
And that was the issue when he did play Alabama, because he was having a monster game. And then what happened, Rich? He couldn't finish the game. So he's got to stay on the field.
As you see inside the theater, the prospects who are here at the draft, the 13 of them are being introduced on the stage, while our number 13 is in the draft hall as well. Kurt?
Hey guys, it is so much fun to talk about these guys and just project, because the bottom line is we're going to look at these guys 10 years from now and say, which of these teams got it right? Dan Quinn, new coach for the Commanders. And you got Jerod Mayo, new coach for New England. If they decide to stay there and choose their quarterback, do they choose the right quarterback? Because it will be a comparison, and they will be connected to their quarterbacks for years to come.
Yeah, there's so much conversation about, well, the New England Patriots rarely pick this high, so they've got to take a quarterback. The last top 10 pick for the New England Patriots is currently their head coach, Jerod Mayo, 10th overall in 2008.
And by the way, to Kurt's point, you miss tonight. You're just back here perpetually. Chicago missed when they didn't get Patrick Mahomes. Denver missed when they didn't get Josh Allen. Guess who's in the quarterback market tonight? Chicago and Denver. You're just right back in it.
You're back there perpetually.
I'm so sorry.
Who are actually running your ball clock. All right, so the team's back there perpetually, but not the people making the choices.
Good point.
So much intrigue. It's so highly anticipated for exactly what we just discussed. Okay, there's Caleb. The drama will soon be underway, and then, of course, in the face of him over, back to the PA on the stage.
To honor America with the presentation of colors from the nation's capital. Tonight's colors will be presented by the Military District of Washington's Joint Armed Forces Color Guard. And now, to honor America with the performance of our national anthem, please welcome Detroit native and national recording artist, Caleb Carroll.
Oh, say, can you see burdened arms and light? What so proudly we held at the twilight's light, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave.
Beautiful national anthem, chat.
We've never spoken.
Ronnie Stay Giant. 2 times more durable, so you can use less.
With endless inspiration at Walmart, you can turn your next spring brunch into a hit. I'm whipping up some fresh takes on my favorite recipes and bringing the outdoors in with a floral-inspired tablescape. Give your spring brunch a spring twist with Walmart.
There's something special about a secluded lakeside getaway. At Big Cedar Lodge, you'll find world-class accommodations, spectacular views, and adventure for the whole family. Escape to the great outdoors at Bass Pro Shops Big Cedar Lodge.
Where you eat is up to you. But what you eat? Now that we can help with. Spice up your sandwich routine with Wawa's new Honey Hot Club sandwiches, ciabattas, and paninis. Gotta have a Wawa.
Liam, Jake cheated on me again.
Welcome to Queso's Gas Station. How you doing?
Hey guys, just remember when you go into that museum, you're fucking on the
If your mom and your father on, yeah. So what? Chelsea's the one.
Oh my god.
Bro, that's the one day we can get good. Guys, come check this out. No way. Let me see it. God. Oh, wow. Shit. Is that what they look like? Yeah, I've never seen a big old pair of teeth. Fuck you, look at that bitch. Here, guys. He's alone.
We just gotta give some money, boys.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yo, what's that? Sure now.
Guys. I'll try to find the Declaration of Independence. Listen.
You bet
Hey.
You
You must love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine.
So the hat camp, where players stop by after they get drafted, caught this moments ago. Just light dapping with Roger Goodell. Just light dapping. Apparently had back surgery, and there'll be no bear hugs tonight. Caleb Williams getting all excited, and why not? His wait will be the shortest tonight. Rich Eisen along with Joel Clyde, Charles Davis, and Move the Sticks, Daniel Jeremiah, as we're getting close to the top of the hour. Ian Rappaport. The Philadelphia Eagles always make news on a draft night. The only question is when, but they already have, is what you're saying.
Oh, yes. The Philadelphia Eagles have given us some major breaking news. Sources say A.J. Brown, their star receiver, who shook up the draft by being traded to the Eagles and getting a contract extension a couple years ago, now has a new deal. Sources say 3-year extension, $96 million, the highest of any receiver in NFL history, $84 million in guarantees. This deal done by Tori Dandy of CAA. First Devontae Smith, now A.J. Brown. The Eagles continue to lock up their best players.
Was that 15 minutes ago? I said Amon-Ra St. Brown was the highest paid receiver.
It was a great era. We had a great era.
He had a good run. He had a really good run. What's going to happen third overall, do you think, tonight, Ian?
Rich, over the course of the last several days, the New England Patriots have received trade offers from teams, the Giants, the Vikings, trying to come up into 3. My understanding is the Patriots, as of right now, seem set to stick, potentially take their franchise quarterback. I think most people believe Drake May would be that selection. Then it gets really, really interesting. Monty Ossenfort, the general manager for the Arizona Cardinals, then would be in a spot where he could either stick there, take, let's say, a receiver, let's say someone like Marvin Harrison Jr. or Malik Neighbors, or potentially get trade offers from teams Giants, maybe the Vikings, maybe the Raiders to trade up for maybe J.J. McCarthy can get fascinating at number 4.
Yeah, Monty Ossenfort said that he wasn't going to entertain any draft offers until he was on the clock. And, that's understandable, but he would have to see who actually goes in front of him, which quarterback would be the one still left standing on the draft board. But does that really happen? Like, would he turn his phone off for the last 6 weeks and he's just going to turn it on and have 96 messages? Like,
call screening.
How does it work?
You're going to get your best offer at the last minute. So he just said, well, I'm not going to wait for the other ones. I'll just wait for best and final.
Right.
Once you get me these offers late in the process. This is a fascinating portion of the draft, starting with the New England Patriots there at 3. I was there in that stadium last year, and there was no energy in there. There wasn't a lot of hope in this franchise. It's resulted in a new head coach in Gerard Mayo. They need a new quarterback. They don't have to get that quarterback on the field week 1, but they need some hope. This is an organization that needs an injection of energy. And if you spend 5 minutes talking with Drake May, you will feel that energy, and he will bring that not only to the building as well as the city. You can get
my
here, we can move around, and
only
we like this quarterback
sunshine.
almost as much. That's a mistake, in my opinion. If you like Drake May, you think he's a good quarterback, you need one, you stay there, you take it.
Yeah, and he's a
When
big-time
skies
character
are
kid
gray,
that you have to have, but the job's not done if they take Drake
you'll
May.
never
The job now,
know,
Joel, is to get
dear,
people to go with
how
him. There's no
much
energy
I
in the stadium. There's no one
love
to scare
you.
anyone. On the defensive side of
Please
the
don't
football in New
take
England, that
my
offense for the last couple of seasons, it was a
sunshine
slog to try and run offense. So you get the quarterback there, they still
away.
got to go get some high-profile receivers. They've got to rebuild the offensive line. They've got to get some juice in the running game. That offense scared no one. On the defensive side, that's got to change for them.
Which, if you're Drake May, let's say it's Drake May,
Draft.
you would be thankful that Jacoby Brissett can go out there and play, and you can learn and you can sit, because I think the last thing you would want is to go out there with no weapons around you. What I thought was interesting was Ian talking about 4 right there, and what Arizona possibly does at
You
4.
are my
Can I just throw out that
sunshine,
if there's going to be this stare-off between Minnesota and New York,
my
right,
only
about J.J. McCarthy, does
sunshine,
Minnesota have to beat them up
you
there? Do they have to go
make
to 4? Do they
me
have to go to 5? If they have to go to 4,
happy
that leaves Jim Harbaugh
when
on the
skies
clock with his
are
first pick as the
gray.
Chargers head coach.
Hey, how you doing?
The best player
Thank you for
available
joining.
is Marvin Harrison Jr. from Ohio State.
Well, that's a great thought there, Joel. And one of the things I thought about, Daniel, is why not think to yourself, Monty Ossenfort, you stick there and
The
take
draft
Marvin
starts in
Harrison
about
Jr.
5
Because you
minutes.
went all in on Kyler
5.
Murray last year,
5.
and you were 31st or 32nd
I'm
in the
nervous.
league in wide receiver
Raiders.
yardage. You've got to change that.
We got
They
the
did a good job. They
13th overall
collected
pick.
a lot of picks. They have a ton of picks
Obviously,
in this
if we
draft.
don't trade up,
But when
we're
you
gonna
look at
get
their
someone
roster,
bad.
They've tried to get some balance and some depth. They need blue chip players.
Yeah.
And they're going to have one staring them right in the face,
Yeah.
in Marvin Harrison Jr., with unlimited upside as well as an extremely high floor. They need difference makers, and this is the biggest difference maker in the draft at the wide receiver position.
11 picks is the most of any team having in the draft. There's 3 teams. One of them's the Rams, by the way. Talk about, they now have 11 of them. And another is Arizona. They've got 11 picks. So it's not like they need to trade. I mean, that's kind of the concept of why the Bears might trade out of 9. They only come in tonight with 4 draft choices. So they might want to move out and start amassing more draft choices, even in this draft, which is deep, as we've already established in this hour-long pre-draft kickoff show, is deep at certain positions. So maybe that might happen.
No question. Go back to Arizona real quick. 6. They got 6 in the first 90. Like, trading back, you got enough picks. You can get other players.
You went all in with your quarterback. Help him.
Get a blue chip player.
And the Patriots are lucky. Sometimes the quarterback needy team sitting there at 3 are missing out. They've got to move up to get somebody who might be number 1 overall in another draft like Drake May. That's the stage that is set figuratively. Those fans are looking at the actual stage from which the 2024 NFL Draft will take place here in football crazy Detroit, Michigan. Caleb Williams about to become a Chicago Bear, and then what? Finally, the 2024 NFL Draft has arrived.
It's like nowhere else in America. It has never lost what makes it unique. It's a one-of-a-kind sound. It's soul. It's where so much of our story has been written. Tonight, there's a new sound, a new energy, and these stars embody what Motown does best. They can improvise with the best of it. Strike the right notes in the biggest moments and create something completely new. They embrace the tradition of following the legendary footsteps and look to take their homegrown greatness to a national audience. They come to the place that defined a nation's sound. To my city. If you want to know what America sounds like, you come to the right place. So it's time to get ready. This is Detroit. This is the 2024 NFL Draft.
What a scene here for the first ever NFL draft in Detroit, Michigan. The Motor City, you're looking at Cadillac Square, fueled by a 150,000 volt engine. 150,000 people are here for a big-time, highly anticipated, quarterback-heavy National Football League draft. Fans from all across this football-loving nation coming to the football-loving state of Michigan, where the Detroit Lions are rulers of the NFC North Roost and hosts to us for this draft tonight on NFL Network. Thrilled to be with you for a 21st time on a draft night with NFL Network. I am Rich Eisen. Good to see my friend from Fox Sports, Mr. Big Noon himself, Joel Klatt. My friend from CBS Sports and a longtime friend right here on the NFL Network draft set, Charles Davis. And the man of the hour, Daniel Jeremiah, moved the sticks himself. Happy 2024 NFL Draft presented by Verizon to you, sir.
This is Christmas. This is an unbelievable atmosphere. There's a sea of humanity here. It's incredible. And it's fitting that this particular draft is in Detroit. A Detroit Lions team that was turned around by the work they did in the draft, going out and getting offensive linemen, going out and getting wide receivers. This draft is full of offensive linemen and wide receivers. And oh, by the way, potentially 6 quarterbacks as well.
Yeah, team construction topped off by the cherry, which is the quarterback. But we would be remiss if we didn't say, what up, Doug?
Yeah,
that's where we are, baby. We're in the D, the Motor City. Daniel's right about how they've constructed their team. Other teams going through construction now. Joe Clark, could we get 6 quarterbacks in the first 13? But when did the defenders start to come off the board? Could be a little bit later. And one of them is going to have some big impact.
You know, 2 things just come to mind tonight. What a run this state is having with the sport of football right now. With Michigan winning the national championship, we've got the draft here. They're absolutely showing out tonight. And then we might have a draft that becomes a cornerstone draft in the future of the National Football League. We might be looking back in 10 years at 2024, Rich, and saying to ourselves, the entire league was shaped that night.
What a night in Detroit. You could see the scene in the draft hall and the 150,000 fans getting ready to watch Caleb Williams become a Bear, and then who knows what. Back to Detroit in just a lickety-split moment.
I might just end the stream, bro. Ain't nobody.
You want to hold it a little longer and then pull and you
They're great! Be smooth with the Pitbull Skull Shave.
Get a smooth shave anywhere, anytime.
Now at Five Below, it's Five Beyond. The new Five Beyond is beyond belief, and only inside Five Below.
Hey, it's Sam Johnston. Hi, Maximilian Kilman. Finally off the hood. Hey, it's Jacob Brown. Watch select Premier League matches all season long on NBC Sports 4K in ultra high definition.
Damn, bro. Hey. Just keep sleeping. Okay. You're not going away. You're not going away. Hey, chat. Bro, I thought like
Follow your passion with Courtyard by Marriott.
You know what time it is. This our season right here.
The schedule is released. Bring it.
The anticipation is through the roof. Stafford's coming home. This is a heavyweight matchup. Let's tackle his dog. Welcome to the NFL.
Bring it.
It's a valley of air. Yeah. This game's for the country. It's the whole world watching. Let's go. Are you not entertained?
Welcome back to the 2024 NFL Draft presented by Verizon right here on NFL Network. Part of our screens that we have here on our set. I can peek in what's going on backstage. It's the commissioner cam. What I'm seeing about what's about to happen from backstage to front stage is something I would stay tuned for.
Hello, Detroit. No, that's not right. Welcome to the D. No. Come on, Roger.
You okay, Commish? Nervous?
Nah, Barry. I'm just fired up.
Listen on your sweater.
Mama spaghetti.
Why you so wound up? You need a hug?
Oh, we doing hugs? I'm ready, Commish. These guys are going to remember this night
Hey, guys.
for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, not to mention their families, friends.
Bro, I always have one viewer and then they leave, bro.
Who's going to come out on stage?
Just like, don't even bother joining, alright? I'm just ending stream. I'm done with this.
How about Megatron? He's taller. How about Hutch?
Like, what's the point of doing this, bro? Everyone says, "Oh, I'm gonna join your stream," and then they don't, bro. You know what? I'm done.
We only have one shot to nail this. One shot.
You know you're still gonna get booed, right?
I'm not afraid.
I'm afraid for you.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Take a stand. Take a stand. Everybody.
So what's the plan?
2 words. Rap battle. We waited 6 years to say this. Welcome to the NFL Draft in Detroit. Let's go, Big D. How do you like that? And I was just kidding about the rap battle. We're going to save that for another day. But the pride of Detroit has got a little some surprise for you and bringing out a few other surprises for you. So, and here you go. Detroit! What up? It's here. Make some noise for the Detroit Lions. Let's go!
Hutchinson. Pro Football Hall of Famer Calvin Johnson. And Pro Football Hall of Famer Barry Sanders.
Get some lucky. Some of us don't get a second chance. But I'm going this one.
Yo, what up, Detroit? Hey, this is crazy. I can't believe it. But before we get off the stage, I need to hear one thing. Sherry Goff. Sherry Goff. Sherry Goff.
What's up, Detroit? Let's go, baby! Hey, Detroit! Let's turn up tonight, baby! Let's get it!
What's up, Detroit? What's up, football fans? Thank you for showing the world how we doing here in Detroit. Great job, guys.
I just got one thing to say. What up, though?
All right, Detroit. Come on. Okay. Detroit, we got fans from 32 teams right down here, and of course, all the Detroit faithful in the back. Welcome to all of you, and most importantly, thank you to Detroit. You guys have been awesome. All right. You ready to get the show on the road? Okay, the 2024 NFL Draft is now underway.
On the clock.
The Chicago Bears are now on the clock.
And the loudest boo is reserved for the Bears fans. There's 8 Mile. With all due respect, Barry Sanders is 10 Mile. 10.4 miles of all-purpose yards. In case you're wondering, Calvin is 6.7 mile out there. What a great way, along with 3 of the more popular current Detroit Lions out there to put the Bears on the clock. All right, Daniel, you have the floor on Caleb Williams.
Yeah, it looks like that will be the pick here. That is the expectation. And really, it was the expectation after the 2022 season, before this past season even started. He would be the first overall pick. It was not a smooth ride this year for him in the USC program. The talent around him had deteriorated, but the talent that he possesses is undeniable. We can go to the video. I can show you why everybody in Chicago now has hope. When you watch Caleb Williams, you see this creative, dynamic playmaker, and it shows up repeatedly. It's littered through his tape. From the pocket, that's one of the questions. Can he play from the pocket? Well, when he's protected, absolutely. You'll see him work through reads and deliver the ball accurately. Over the top, deep throws. He can touch it up and fit it right in the bucket. But this is the fun stuff. Off schedule, off platform, velocity and accuracy, especially to the left. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody go to the left, snap your hip like this, and deliver the ball right on the money for the USC Trojans. We learned of him. This is the first time against Texas. They're down against their rival at Oklahoma. He goes into the ball game. He leads the Sooners back, and they go on to win that ball game. One of the interesting things that Ryan Poles said through this process, the general manager of the Chicago Bears, he said there's quarterbacks that are artists and there's quarterbacks that are surgeons. Caleb Williams has majored in artistry. He's minored as a surgeon. That's going to need to flip for him at the next level for him to be successful. But the talent, guys, is undeniable.
But if you're laying on that table, you want both. Okay, you want the artist and the surgeon who is taking care of you, and Caleb Williams can provide that. And what I'm thinking about when I watch this, Daniel's already gone through the accolades, tells you what he's about. Joel seen him on tape and in person. He can tell you more about that. Here's what I'm looking at. This is a Chicago franchise that's built up around him before he even arrives. Offensive line has gotten better. They got Darnell Wright last year. The receiving core has gotten beefed up. Keenan Allen has come over. DJ Moore in the last 2 years. Cole Kmet's locked up at tight end. They bring in DeAndre Swift at running back. So they're giving him talent, plus a defense that really played well at the end of last year. That helps a young quarterback. And last but not least, he goes into a division, and they have to have this guy because Detroit is out there with Jared Goff. Green Bay's out there with Jordan Love. This quarterback's got to give them that opportunity, and Minnesota's going to try and do the same chasing tonight, Joel Clack, and find their QB.
It looked like he just, by the way, got a phone call.
That's right.
He was playing Wordle. I think the word Bears is what he was putting into the Wordle. But it does look like we're finally seeing some activity here.
I'm gonna further this whole notion about being surgical and a magician, and he is kind of a combination of the two. You know, when I watched Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech, this guy was a magician outside of the pocket, and we have not seen somebody that can be surgical outside of the pocket when he's creating, like Patrick Mahomes, until Caleb Williams. This is his superpower, guys. As soon as he breaks contain, watch the power, the accuracy that he throws with on the run. You just hold your breath because you know it's going to be spectacular. And DJ, you touched on it, throwing to his left. That one against Colorado earlier in the tape that you showed, I was in the booth and my jaw hit the floor. I think you cannot make those throws. The off-platform velocity and arm talent that he has is second to none.
There, Ryan Poles is now on the phone. The first time when we looked at the Bears draft room, they were all just sitting there staring ahead and wondering, when can we start actually doing the inevitable? Because Caleb Williams took one top 30 visit. It was to Chicago. So Bears had one quarterback come visit them. It was Caleb Williams. This was obvious from the start. Now Matt Eberflus is saying hello, and we say hello to Kurt Warner. Kurt?
Well, guys, for a guy that had no artistry, I appreciate the artistry of Caleb Williams. But I still believe that this game at the NFL level is won by being surgical, by playing inside the pocket. I watch film every week, and the teams that have the best chance week in and week out are the quarterbacks that play on schedule, play on time, and then give you the artistry at 2 or 3 times a game. That is exactly what I believe Caleb Williams has the capabilities of doing. But as you said, DJ, they have got to flip what we saw last year at USC. Make him inside the pocket first, and then allow that artistry to come out only when need be.
No doubt. And I think, home run hitter is a positive, but also a negative. There were times last year he got bored with completions. He'd have a shallow cross right in front of him. He'd bypass it looking for a home run down the field. In the NFL, you've got to take those completions. You can't become bored with them. One positive, you mentioned the defense with the Bears. Last year, USC's defense was 123rd in scoring defense. Every series when you're watching tape, it felt like there was another 7 points on the other side. He's not going to have to go point chasing like he did in college.
And if that happens, that changes how you go about things. And you're going to get bored with completions because you need points. So you're trying to jam the ball downfield, do all those things. Joel, you made such a great point about Mahomes and all. I'm going to add one other to you because Kurt just talked about it. Win from the pocket, those few times out of the pocket, be surgical. Aaron Rodgers is that guy. Because when Aaron Rodgers gets outside the pocket, he does not throw the check down. He throws to kill downfield. That's what you're going to want to get from Caleb Williams as they try and chase down Green Bay and Detroit.
Real quick, Rich, are we sure they weren't calling the Panthers to thank him and then calling Caleb?
The first pick is in. The Chicago Bears are up. The pick is in.
From that trade, the last time the Bears used the first overall pick in an NFL draft, 77 years ago, in 1947, when they took a running back out of Oklahoma State, Bob Fenimore, known better as the Blonde Bomber. That's the last time they used the first overall pick in the draft. And as we all know, they had it last year and traded it to Carolina, and here we are tonight.
The point chasing is such a good point because USC last year, they were in every game, but only because Caleb was being Superman in all of those games. If you go back the year prior, when he had better wide receivers around him, you did see some of that surgical play from the pocket.
He almost got that team into the college football playoff.
That's right.
In that first year.
Pulled hamstring away from possibly getting hurt in the Pac-12 game.
So the dream of Caleb Williams becoming the first overall pick in the draft is finally about to be realized, and Chicago's Bears fans who are hoping for a second coming at quarterback about to hear the name of Caleb Williams from the draft stage. Roger Goodell heading out right now to make this selection known, and then the intrigue will begin with the Washington Commanders on the clock.
With the first pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Caleb Williams, quarterback, Southern California.
There is a Detroit cheer for Caleb Williams. Hugging his family and he is the first overall pick in the NFL draft. Kid who went from Oklahoma to USC when his coach Lincoln Riley went there. Followed him to USC, immediately won a Heisman Trophy this past year. Wasn't the way he wanted it to go in terms of wins and losses and things of that nature. But his talent is undeniable. And Bears fans, yes, he's about to put a Bears hat on and introduce himself to the world and head to Michigan Avenue.
He might not have ran a 40 in Indy, but he's running one here. I mean, he is flying up there. He's excited to get this journey started.
When you see all the things that come with Caleb Williams, people have talked about the nail polish and the flair that he, the way that he dresses, and he made so much money in the NIL. I can tell you from experience, this guy has a competitive fire in his eyes. And ever since I talked with him as a true freshman when he was at Oklahoma, this is what he has been dreaming of, not only this moment, but being the number one pick. This has been his goal. He wants to go to an organization, and as he told me, change the culture. He wants to be that engine for the Chicago Bears.
Do you remember the name Johnny Lujak at all? Johnny Lujak was the last great Sid Luckman. That's the name. The last great quarterback the Bears had that was consistent. Sid Luckman. You got to go back a long way for that. They thought they had it in Jim McMahon. It didn't happen except for one season when they won the Super Bowl. They thought they were going to get the long-term run. This is where they think the long-term run starts. Starts here with Caleb Williams.
Well, I asked the guys in their personnel department, what did you learn about Caleb Williams from the end of the season to when you really got to spend time with him to now? And they said a couple things. Number one, we talked to all of his teammates at Oklahoma and at USC, and they love him.
That's right.
That was the first thing. The second thing was, I don't know if anybody's had more noise and more chaos around him, more negative attention. And he was so steely focused. He did not get sidetracked. It didn't even bother him. He just powered right through it. Kind of ironic that his career begins getting booed by 150,000 people here in Detroit. He wasn't very bothered by that.
He'll get booed in Detroit often in his career. He might as well get used to it.
And of course, it'll be up to him to quiet the crowd, as Bears fans are hoping that he will do at the controls of an offense that has DeAndre Swift and Keenan Allen new to it. Cole Kmet, a fifth-year player at the tight end spot. As we all know, DJ Moore came in the trade last year with Carolina, and he had a terrific first season and what wound up being Justin Fields' last one in Chicago, as it's Caleb Williams, the Bears last year turning down the opportunity to turn away from Justin Fields and use the first overall pick. This year, however, they decided to write Caleb Williams' name on a card, bring the tears to the eyes of the young man who has been dreaming of this moment with his family for his entire life.
Caleb Williams is off the board. That's fine. Raiders were never going to get him. He wasn't. He didn't catch our eye.
10 minutes, and they're counting that down right now. So Caleb Williams.
Now the Commanders are up on the board.
Expecting to hear to start this NFL draft. It is official. He is a Chicago Bear, and we welcome Kaylee Hartung to our broadcast with the first overall pick.
Well, Caleb, there was no real element of surprise to this moment. We heard that burst of emotion when you walked onto this stage. The reality of it, did it bring you a
I just want to say this. The next pick is pick number 2, and it's to the Washington Commanders. Now, the Raiders are supposed to trade up with the Commanders to get that second spot, and we would get Jaden Daniels. So far, Washington would call the Roger Goodell, the owner of the NFL, and say, hey, we're trading to the Raiders so they can have our spot. And he would make an announcement. So far, they haven't done that. And they're not on the clock yet, so we still have some time. I'm going to be real honest. If the Raiders do not trade, oh, crap. The Commanders are calling someone. Guys, the Commanders are calling someone. I don't think it's any NFL team. I think it's a player. So it's safe to say the Raiders are not moving up in the draft.
A comment that was said to me that Dan Quinn wanted to find his Matt Ryan. He was looking for his Matt Ryan. So who is that in this draft? I'm like, okay, I could make a case Drake May. Drake May Matt Ryan had some turnovers in college, but you had all the makeup, the size, all those.
Dude, that's
factors
actually
were in
so
place.
annoying, bro. I thought we were gonna trade up, bro.
At Boston College. The same thing with Drake May.
Bro, we were supposed to trade up and get Jaden Daniels at the second pick, and the Commanders declined our trade. I am so pissed right now, bro.
Everything started pointing towards Jaden Daniels and finding someone who could be a big-time playmaker right now, not requiring the patience we can get him on the field. When I talked to Adam Peters, I said, what lesson did you learn about Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, where you came from in San Francisco? He said he played the position the best. At the end of the day, that's what you have to do.
The Washington Commanders, the pick is
And
in.
the pick is in, as you can see all the way around
The Commanders have selected someone, and if they pick Jaden Daniels, I might just leave. Jaden Daniels is supposed to be a Raider. He went to 4 NFL teams before the draft to interview with them. He said that his favorite team was the Raiders. He interviewed with them. So if the Commanders pick him, I am going to be so mad because that's the only player in the draft that I want the Raiders to have. I'm gonna scoot back because if they pick him, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna run away.
There were several other quarterbacks there with
Sorry,
him.
chat.
Dan Quinn and Peters picked him up, and he met straight with the owner, and he was back in, very excited.
Rocco, bro, come on
Yeah,
now.
that was last week where they had.
Yo, if they don't pick
all at the same
if they
time,
don't pick
including
Jaden Daniels, I'm actually gonna be so mad.
30 visits, but that'll just be,
I'm not even gonna care.
if we are going to hear the name of Jaden.
I hope you
Daniels
guys
from
can
the
hear it very
commissioner.
well. I'm gonna be quiet.
Coming to the stage, as you can see, with the clock counting down on the Patriots pick, 3rd overall. We just heard Caleb Williams' name. Out comes Roger Goodell now. It is the first Washington draft choice of the post-Dan Snyder era. It's the Josh Harris, Magic Johnson et al. Era. And who is the first pick
Please don't pick Jaden
of
Daniels.
Washington tonight?
With the second pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Jaden Daniels, quarterback, LSU.
So it is the reigning Heisman Trophy winner. Second out of the green room after his predecessor winning that award. Jaden Daniels is the choice of the Washington Commanders, DJ.
This has just gone from an unwatchable offensive product to must-see TV. When you put this playmaker at the helm of this offense, going to be led now by Cliff Kingsbury. He did this the hard way, guys. This was not someone who just jumped on the scene in college football and took college football by storm. He earned his way. He got better. He changed schools. You talk to the folks at LSU, first one in 5 o'clock in the morning. He's bringing wide receivers in there, using the virtual reality to be able to study coverages, study route combinations. All of that hard work culminates in a Heisman Trophy, and now he's the second pick in the draft.
What I love about Jaden Daniels is that passion that he spoke about. I covered him when he was at Arizona State, and there was so much optimism and hope for Mark Edwards, you remember, in that staff. And then all of a sudden, COVID kind of derailed that program. The Pac-12 did not deal with COVID very well. They had a half season. Their team fell way short of expectations, and he bore the brunt of a lot
All right,
of that
all right,
criticism.
we're good.
Change of
Hello.
scenery was perfect for him and CD.
Hold on.
I think it was that change of scenery.
Okay. I said Jaden Daniels is the only guy in the draft that I wanted. That's not true. Although I really wanted Jaden Daniels, and I'm pretty pissed that the freaking Commanders got him. I honestly wouldn't mind Michael Penix Jr. I wouldn't mind it. A lot of people are projecting that he falls to us, and I think he has potential of being really good. So I'm gonna say that, oh well, we got to move on. Jaden Daniels goes to the Commanders, but I'm gonna say that Michael Penix Jr. is the next best option. But I'm nervous because the Patriots are up, and if the Patriots select Michael Penix Jr., then there's literally no one else I want. So I'm actually shaking right now. If the Raiders do not get a quarterback, period, I'm going to be pissed. You know what, Rocco? You're right. We do stink because we can't do anything in the draft.
What do you want your future to look like? Is
All the players are saying about how we suck. Well, because none of the players at the office, they cannot make trades to the draft. We have not traded up in the draft since 2019 when we were I think we were like the 14th and we moved up to the 8th. We ever since then we have not moved up in the draft. We've always stayed put. I think that's stupid.
And that athleticism and that speed, that's where I landed. Here's the beginning. Here's him throwing the ball to Brandon Ayuk. That tells you how long he's been in college here. Gets to LSU, and his play really started to take off, especially this year.
I'm done. All right.
His eyes and feet being tied together better than any quarterback in this class in that department, working backside.
All right. Well, the Patriots are up on the board next, and if they select Michael Penix Jr., I'm actually going to throw something at the wall. I just threw my container of chips over there. They're probably all crushed. I don't really care. Jaden Daniels.
We saw Heisman start tonight, 1-2. Last time we saw it was in 2015 when it was Jameis Winston, followed up by the man who's now in the quarterback room with the Commanders, Jaden Daniels, Marcus Mariota. So, as you can see on the screen, folks,
Patriots pick is in.
5 minutes to make a pick, to stick and pick. No trade. New England has made the pick, and it is in. And Ian Rappaport, what do you have?
Rich, over the last several hours, I think it was pretty clear most teams thought the Patriots would make the pick, but it was not without a little bit of drama. My understanding is the Vikings and Giants made one last-ditch effort to the Patriots to try to get them off the number 3 overall pick. In the end, the Patriots opt likely for their franchise quarterback rather than a
For the person that just joined, hello, thank you for joining in. The Chicago Bears just selected Caleb Williams, and the Commanders just selected Jaden Daniels.
I said don't get cute. And they're not getting cute. They're not even using the full 10 minutes. You need a quarterback. There's one there for you. You take him. And even if he doesn't get on the field right away, you provided something your organization sorely needs right now, and that is hope for the future.
And Joel, you don't do everything to satisfy your fans, quote unquote, right? You don't pander to the fans. But with New England, it's been in the past. There's been a lot of board manipulation. We drop back, we get this, we do that.
Obviously, if the Raiders traded up, it would have said, like, next to the team, it would say, like, trade or something. Or before it says pick is in, they would say, oh, the blank just traded to the Panthers for this. And that has not been said yet.
You also don't want to get thrown in there without any weapons around you. And right now, New England is not a spot for a young quarterback to go succeed right away.
I get it. We need a left tackle. I do. I get it.
He can sit behind Jacoby Brissett.
But
I think that would be a great spot for him.
if we select a left tackle in the first round, I am actually going to lose my dude. I swear. And here comes Roger. If they select Michael Penix Jr., I am running outside and I'm going to scream at the top of my lungs. Please, Bill.
In the 2024 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Drake May, quarterback, North Carolina.
Okay, Drake May is off the board. I'm fine with that.
And it's going to New England, as we all know.
So now,
the last time
the Arizona Cardinals are on the board.
Start a draft like tonight. The Patriots chose Mac Jones 15th overall in that draft.
Jeez.
An excellent rookie season for him. He did appear in the Pro Bowl that year. The next 2 years devolved. He is now in the Jacksonville Jaguar quarterback room, backing up Trevor Lawrence, meaning this is Drake May's future.
We're so
in New England, the kid from North Carolina, coming to the AFC East, where Josh Allen resides, and that is a kid who he idolized. It's a quarterback he idolized growing up. Here he is, the New England Patriot quarterback. 3rd overall, Drake May.
Feels like for 2 decades, everyone was chasing Tom Brady in that division. Now everybody's chasing Josh Allen. And they got a big, rugged, physical, athletic quarterback in New England now that's going to give them a chance when they find themselves in some of those high-scoring affairs. This is an unbelievable athlete here in Drake.
I'm actually going to be it.
Go to the video. Size athleticism.
If the Raiders do not pick Michael Penix Jr.,
he will work in the middle of the field.
then I'm going to go to school tomorrow and I'm going to be pissed. Like all the kids who go to school with me, I'm going to be pissed, so you better stay out of my way.
and then
If we do not get Michael Penix Jr., I am going to be like that.
A lot of pressure this year behind that North Carolina offensive line.
Them selecting Drake May is not bad. We never really had intentions with him.
You don't have my right hand free, that's fine. I'll just be an athlete, switch over to the left hand and make a play. You open up a lane, I will take it. I believe early in his career, you'll see a lot of this. Use your legs as you're becoming more comfortable in the passing game. Fascinating for me is how long before he gets on the field. I love the pick. Now the question begins, when does that clock start with him on the field?
Ovation all around. Kurt Warner, your 2 cents.
I love that you guys are talking about him having to chase Josh Allen because I believe his path is going to have to be similar to Josh Allen. When Josh Allen came out, 59% passer in
The
college,
Cardinals
and
are
very
on
seldom do you
the
see guys
clock.
get more accurate in the National Football League. But Josh Allen put in the work. He had the right coaches around him, and he made that progress. Now is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Drake May is going to have to clean up some of that technique stuff. But if he does, he's got that physical ability that you guys have talked about. And I love what New England is doing here. A lot of teams say, or a lot of people will say, well, the team is more than a quarterback away. But I believe your team needs to be ready when your quarterback is ready. So a couple years from now, Drake May can clean up these things. They can build around him, and maybe 3 or 4 years, they'll be ready to compete.
And the Patriots took the shortest amount of time of the first 3 picks to make their selection. Kaylee Hartung is welcoming Drake May to Primetime, presented by Nationwide. Take it away, Kaylee.
Drake, all 4 of the May brothers experienced great success in their chosen college sports. How did the house you grew up in lead you to this stage tonight?
Yeah, youngest of 4 boys. The youngest one had to get beaten up on, and then all the above, and just try to keep my head down, keep working, end up paying off. Those 3 are my best friends, and just can't be thankful enough to be the youngest.
Over the course of your lifetime, the Patriots built a dynasty in New England, but it's the beginning of a new era.
Yeah.
How will you help define that?
Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready to go compete. I'm ready to get in New England. Let's have a blast. We're going to win a lot of games, and let's go.
You're going to show up with that smile on your face. I know it.
Always. Yes, ma'am.
Thanks, Drake.
So, for the 4th time in the Super Bowl era, we've seen quarterbacks go 1, 2, and 3 to start an NFL draft. In 1971, we saw Plunkett, Archie Manning, and Dan Pastorini start that draft. And then in 1999, Tim Couch welcomed the Browns back into existence in Cleveland by going 1st overall. Donovan McNabb got booed. Remember that in New York City? And then 2021, we saw 3 in a row start the draft, and then comes tonight. The Chargers are now on the clock. There was no trade involving Arizona. The pick is in right there, and while we're waiting for that, Joel, do you want to have the floor on what we just saw?
Well, I want to just touch on Drake May because I think he's got as high an upside as anybody, maybe even including Caleb Williams. He and Caleb make throws that all the other quarterbacks can only dream of making, okay? And so New England fans, yes, he might not be the most polished right now, but this guy's upside is through the roof.
Yeah, don't forget this very quickly. This young man may sit for a while, but not for very long. It doesn't take long in the NFL. When you have a number 1 pick, you use it.
So we are probably not going to see 4 quarterbacks start a draft for the first time, unless Roger Goodell is announcing himself as the new quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals. But he's about to come out here and announce what the Cardinals decided to do by sticking and picking while the Chargers are already a minute and a half into their clock.
With the 4th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiver of Ohio State.
Well, a Maserati is about to hit the showroom floor here in the Motor City. Marvin Harrison Jr., one of the more talented quarterbacks ever at Ohio State, hugging his head coach Ryan Day as he makes his way out here on a draft night to go to Arizona and become the prime target for Kyler Murray in the NFC West.
I'm all for trading down and getting depth, but I'm more into getting dudes. You have your depth, I'll take my dudes. This is a big-time playmaker. They need blue-chip difference makers on this roster for the Arizona Cardinals. There aren't many. And Kyler Murray is grinning from ear to ear. He has a number 1 wide receiver, and not 2 years from now, 3 years from now. This is a number one wide receiver this year. He's going to be ready to roll right when he gets on the field.
On the whiteboard, it's X's and O's, right, Joel? That's right. This is an X that comes to life and is an X factor. And Kyler Murray has to have this guy in order to get this offense going. The organization said Kyler Murray's our quarterback. Give him some people that give him a chance to make those plays. Marvin Harrison does it, by the way. He didn't run the 40. He didn't do the combination. Why? He was training to be a football player.
That's exactly right, and that's what he is. Let me take you guys back a couple of years. You guys all know how many Ohio State games that Gus and I call, right? I mean,
All of them. I think you did all of them.
I think you miss a Youngstown State game. That's about it.
You know, we do our best, CD. There's no doubt. You even drove the Maserati, Rich. You know, so you've been listening. That's
By the way, Gus is from the D.
So, guys, 3 years ago, he's a true freshman that's having a hard time breaking into the wide receiver room because it's Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. And I would ask those guys amongst the three of them, hey, who's the best among the three of you? And they would all look at me and say, oh, no. He's the best one. Marvin Harrison Jr., who wasn't even on the field yet, he proved it in that Rose Bowl, you remember, against Utah as a true freshman, and he's been the best receiver in college football ever since.
The highest drafted wide receiver for Arizona since drafting Larry Fitzgerald 3rd overall in 2004. Welcome to Primetime, presented by Nationwide. Kaylee, take it away.
Well, Marvin, you represent your father's legacy with that pendant around your neck, but it is your turn now. What do you want your name to represent in the NFL?
I just want to go out there, man, work as hard as I can, be the best player I can be. I'm just super honored to be here.
From Garrett Wilson to C.J. Stroud, the last two NFL Offensive Rookies of the Year have been products of Ohio State. Can you make it a three-peat for the Buckeyes?
That's my goal. I'm going to try to.
You came in here tonight confident you would be the first receiver taken off the board in a class deep with talent. Why did you have that confidence?
I just had trust in my abilities. Man, I worked so hard to get to this point. God's put me in a great position. I couldn't be here without him, so I'm super blessed.
And I know you're ready to get back to work. Thank you, Marvin.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Super blessed indeed. You could just have the floor on it, sir.
This is a fun one to study. Big, he is a very easy, fluid mover, and the catch radius is ridiculous. This is a power forward body with point guard athleticism. You want to press him, he'll just swat you away like a bug. Climb on top with his speed and make plays. Run after catch. When he had an opportunity with a good ball from the quarterback, go back to Stroud, you saw a bunch of that. The ability to snap off routes like a little receiver in a big frame is ridiculous. The catch radius, I mentioned it. How about this last one? Watch him snatch this one against Michigan State. He's a freak.
Yeah.
I know that's an overused word, but this dude is a bona fide freak.
And he played for one of, if not the best wide receiver coach in college football, and Brian Hartline. Brian Hartline talks about you got to go from point A to point B on time and create separation. No one does that better than him.
Yeah, and you know who else got better? Trey McBride, the tight end, and Michael Wilson, who came in last year. They don't have to be the leading guys now. This young man will take that pressure off of them.
So the Chargers are on the clock for Jim Harbaugh's first pick back in the NFL, and it's been very chalky to this point. We're taking a break. We're going to come back and tell you what's going on in Detroit.
Lost in a sea of data? Get back on solid ground with Call Tracking Metrics conversational AI tools.
Rethink expectations. Rethink professional and small business insurance with Berksy.
Every parent knows when to go into protect mode. That's why Lysol cleans and kills 99.9% of germs. Don't just clean, Lysol clean.
Sometimes it takes a different approach to imagine your future differently. With Capella University's game-changing FlexPath format, set your own deadlines and access coursework anytime.
Hey, it's Sam Johnston. Hi, it's Maximilian Kilman. Anelaf Malodzic. Hey, it's Jacob Brown. Watch select Premier League matches all season long on NBC Sports 4K in ultra high definition.
NFL app.
Dear moms and dads, we know it's not always been easy, and it's been a lot of hard work. It's not worth trying. What you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas. Everything I do it for you. Mom, love you all. No, it's true. Everything I do it for
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Time for the Green Room, built by Lowe's. The Green Room, 4 players lighter, with 3 quarterbacks and a wide receiver having been selected. Malik Neighbors sitting, potentially hearing his name next, because the Chargers, who traded away Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, walked to the Jets. They took it down under 2 minutes to go for their pick, and then made a choice. So whatever draft trade conversation may have made its way into the draft room in Costa Mesa, California, did not yield any results for us to have our first draft trade of the night. And the pick's going to be in. I turn to the man who calls Chargers games on the radio and ask for your advice. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I'm going to give the Chargers 1 second. Minnesota has called the Giants bluff. They did not go ahead of them. I don't believe they're buying the Giants are taking J.J. McCarthy at 6. That's the first point I'll make. Now the Chargers get their pick in. Charger fans call the games, but they've been mad at me because I keep giving them offensive linemen. They say, we need a receiver. We lost Keenan. We lost Mike. But if you do a history lesson on Joe Ortiz, the general manager, and Jim Harbaugh, your head coach, they play a physical brand of football. When Jim Harbaugh took the Stanford job, Oregon and USC were high-flying. They were running college football. Jim Harbaugh didn't get weapons to try and compete in a track meet. He got big and tried to beat them up. Now he's with the Chiefs, and I think he's going to try to do the same thing.
Did the same thing with Ohio State.
In his 4 drafts with San Francisco, Jim Harbaugh never traded down in the first round once, and he didn't do it tonight either. So the coach of the championship college team in Michigan is about to make his first choice as a Chargers HC.
I see what you did.
Thank you, brother.
With the fifth pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Joe Alt, tackle, Notre Dame.
So they do take the left tackle from Notre Dame, even though Rashawn Slater is their all-pro, but for the moment, let's give Joe Alt his flowers.
Well, Joe Alt went from a tight end to a tackle within 2 years, was the 5th pick in the draft. I think he'll be okay moving from left tackle to right tackle. He'll be able to pull that off. He is extremely long. You saw the dimensions. He's almost 6'9". This is Jonathan Ogden type height at left tackle. Length and range. You can't get into his chest. He does a great job of keeping his chest clean. You can't overpower him that way. In the run game for a big guy, he can roll his hips, get low, and create a lot of movement. You want to climb to the second level, which you're going to be doing a lot with Jim Harbaugh and this offensive system with the Chargers. He does that as well. They are going to protect Justin Herbert, and they are going to give Justin Herbert a running game. 2 areas and 2 issues that have been there for the Chargers since he entered the league.
That's right there, presented by Rocket Mortgage, showing the moment that the Alt family is essentially back in the National Football League, right? So there he is, Joe Alt, going to Los Angeles to protect Justin Herbert and start road grading for Jim Harbaugh.
You made some great points, Daniel, about what they're going to do. I think, Joel, you were anticipating that if this pick somehow that Arizona passed on Marvin Harrison Jr. again now, that might have been the wide receiver that would have been discussed right there. Because Jim Harbaugh saw for those years at Michigan. But it makes perfect sense what Daniel was talking about. The DNA of the general manager who's there, the DNA of the head coach who is there, that comes to an offensive tackle. By the way, they're trying to play with Trey Pipkins at right tackle. Rashawn Slater's now your starting left tackle, has been going to be a superstar. Now you bring a guy who can be on the right side. You change how you do things as you try and chase down.
Hold on, Joel. You guys think that Jim only plays with five.
That's what I was going to ask you.
linemen. I'm like,
He
you don't
needs
have
two
enough
more.
offensive
He
linemen.
needs two more to get what he wants to do.
He probably needs a couple tight ends, couple more offensive tackles to put them all on the field like they did against Penn State, even though Jim was in the hotel for that game. But that's the point. That's the brand of football that he uses, and he's used it everywhere that he's been. It's not going to change.
Remember when Wisconsin called it the barge when they had 9 on the line?
That's right.
What are you going to call it with Jim Harbaugh?
Right.
So 5 minutes now left on the clock for the Giants, who did not trade up for a quarterback or could not trade up for a quarterback or would not trade up for a quarterback. And it's time for Joe Schoen to make a call. Now, he's smiling, and it looks like he's on the phone with somebody. Malik Neighbors is still in that green room. Roma Dunze is still in that green room. J.J. McCarthy's down the road at his own draft party in Romulus, Michigan. Ian Rappaport is here in Detroit in the theater with us. Ian, you've got the floor.
Rich, now it gets really interesting because the Giants did try to trade up to number 3 to take Drake May. The phones have been quiet, though, at 4 and 5. So did the Giants bluff, and then go with the receiver, potentially with Malik Neighbors? Or did they just stick and take J.J. McCarthy, potentially their franchise quarterback? If they go receiver, then you wonder, do the Vikings just stick at 11, or does another team who did the homework, maybe the Broncos, side up just a little bit to come get J.J. McCarthy?
J.J. McCarthy was on my show yesterday, and I asked him, do you have any idea where you think you're going? And he says, not really, but I did visit the Giants twice. I even threw on Easter, which was new for him. And then he knew what the staff runs because it's an Alabama style of play. And Josh Gaddis came from Alabama, was an offensive coordinator up at Michigan for a while. And so maybe this is it. Again, Daniel Jones is hurt. He's not going to be there to start the season. They did get Drew Lock in the fold to potentially start week 1. And Daniel Jones could be a starter in the middle of the season, or you get J.J. McCarthy right now.
Did the Minnesota Vikings watch Braveheart yesterday?
Hold,
be patient, and they're going to nervously await what's getting ready to be announced.
Well, Giants fans have been nervously awaiting this moment, and it has arrived. It does actually happen, 6th overall. They did not make a trade. They have stuck, and they are picking. And it's time for the commissioner to come out. I'm seeing him leaving the backstage area, making his way. So, and there's also some offensive linemen that are out there. Minus Joe All. We'll see what the New York Giants do. What a huge inflection point in tonight's draft this moment is.
With the 6th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Malik Neighbors, wide receiver, LSU.
So they do go wide receiver from LSU, just like back in the day, Odell. And it is Malik Neighbors coming to the Giants' fold and bringing his remarkably dynamic style of play to the NFC East and an offense that currently will be quarterbacked by Drew Lock until Daniel Jones is healthy as it currently stands as he walks to the stage right now.
I talked to Brian Daboll before last year's draft, and I said, what do you need to get accomplished? He said, we might be the slowest team in the league. We've got to get faster. We've got to get more dynamic. They made an effort with that last year with Jalen Hyatt, big-time speed they've added, and now they get the most electrifying wide receiver in this class. Not the most polished, but a big play waiting to happen. That can be throwing the ball 60 yards down the field. That can be literally handing him the ball and watching him run 60 yards down the field.
Well, you just mentioned what they had to do, and they've got all that in terms of the speed and everything else, the dynamicism. But here's the thing for me, Joel, is the competitiveness. If you've been around Brian Daboll and been around his ball club, they always have competitive periods, ones versus ones. End the day with a competitive thing, who won, who lost. He wants all that. That's Malik Neighbors. Yep. That fits Brian Daboll. Remember, Brian Daboll was in Buffalo when they acquired Stephon Diggs, and he came out and was dynamic right from the beginning under Brian Daboll. That fits perfectly in terms of who they are, who Brian Daboll is as a head coach, and what his team needs if they want to start getting back on that mission to try and win the NFC East.
You see that competitiveness, guys, show up with the ball in his hands. You know, when he's running, you can see just the urgency that he has in creating some of those big plays. DJ, you said during this project, he's got like a jetpack on his back. I mean, that's how he plays, whether he's running around down the field or he's got the ball in a screen, tunnel screen.
And please let the Giants and the Jets do some preseason scrimmages, because we're going to have a necklace off between Leak and Sauce, and they'll go at each other every day in a practice field.
It's called the Snoopy Bowl every single year.
Yeah, but I want them to have some of those practices and get at it.
Last thing, Daniel Jones, you can take those antacids and put them back in the cupboard.
Kaylee Hartung is on the stage with Malik Neighbors.
Malik, I need you to open up the inside of your jacket and tell me what it represents in this moment.
Oh, so the inside of my jacket, it represents my journey when I came to LSU. They got all the people that showed tribute to the legacy of me at LSU. You know, I got a lot of memories here. All the memories that's in here is the reason why I'm here today.
There is a legacy at LSU of producing superstar receivers in the NFL. You broke all those players' records. What can you accomplish as a New York Giant?
I'm just hoping to be the best team I can be, get in the community, hit the ground running and show them what kind of athlete I am.
And bring that dog mentality you say you have.
You're right.
Now you can go jump in the crowd with those Giants fans.
All right, let's look at the video. We teased it. And this is one explosive play after another when you watch Malik Neighbors teamed up with Jaden Daniels in college. He's a yak machine. You've seen what DJ Moore does with the ball in his hands for Carolina and Chicago. You see similar here with Malik Neighbors, just a little bit faster. After the catch, he can run away from you. He's also not afraid to drop his shoulder and run through you. It was death by slot fade when you played against LSU this year. It was one after another after another.
Then a double move.
And they're going to give him all that real estate to work. As we get to Next Gen Stats powered by AWS, you look at the overall scores of the wide receivers in this draft class. We've talked about the big three. There's only one left, but the one at the top of the list in terms of score.
New York Giants. I love this bit by the New York Giants, and specifically as DJ was talking about, he can play all over the place. He's not just one of those guys that you have to put on the backside an X receiver. He is so good inside the slot as well. So I know they may have considered going the quarterback route, but what we know about the New York Giants is they've got to surround whoever that quarterback is with more playmakers. I love this pick. I love this player. I think he's going to be a big-time player for the New York Giants.
6 picks in, 0 draft trades, 3 quarterbacks, 2 wide receivers, and a 6'9" left tackle that's about to be a right tackle in Los Angeles. The Titans pick is in. We will reveal it when we come back. The Falcons are on the clock, and 150,000 people are in Detroit.
Lazy boy, long live the lazy. Remember when Casual Friday was a big thing? Well, now there's casual every day with Skechers Go Walk. The comfort starts with my hands-free Skechers Go Walk slip-ins. Plus, there's Go Walk apparel with pants, jackets, tanks, and tees. Experience Skechers Go Walk footwear and apparel.
Everybody wants super straight, super white teeth. They want that Hollywood white smile.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
Hey, honey. We thought we'd try something new.
Carolina.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
Say hello.
Enter your great hair era with Suave Hair Care. Salon quality shampoos and conditioners infused with nourishing ingredients for hair that looks so healthy, it's worth the world's whole attention. Suave. Enter your great hair era.
Hey, it's Sam Johnston. Hi, it's Maximilian Kilman. Hey, it's Jacob Brown. Watch select Premier League matches all season long on NBC Sports 4K in ultra high definition.
Let's go! Select.
Right in between the part of this, right in this one, the Pirates.
Beautiful vista right there, captured by Goodyear, providing our aerial coverage from their first step on the field to their first step on this stage. These players have drive. Goodyear or driven.
You're not.
So the Titans having Joe Alt on their radar screen coming in, have watched him be plucked from the draft board by the Chargers. It's now time to find out who the Titans are going to take 7th overall, while the Falcons are almost halfway through their allotted time on the clock at 8. Here's the commissioner with the latest pick of this Detroit draft.
With the 7th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select J.C. Latham, tackle, Alabama.
Well, we had tackles go at 5 and 7. Not a surprise either spot. The Tennessee Titans, this was a glaring need for them. Will Levis needs some help, needs some protection. They were tied for 28th in sacks allowed last year. Latham is a mammoth human being. Played at right tackle there. He's also played inside at guard. I believe he'll be a left tackle in the NFL, Charles. The upside with him in terms of what he can become, big-time recruit, big-time talent, I think there's still more there for him.
He's like those things in the airport. He's an APM, automated people mover, right? But here's the other part. Bill Callahan was the coach of Cleveland when they drafted Jedrick Wills out of Alabama, right tackle his college career. They converted him to left tackle. Bill Callahan is now the offensive line coach for the Tennessee Titans. If you're talking about converting a guy from right tackle to left tackle, and they were going to do it last year, but Michael Proctor was there, and they decided to just leave J.C. Latham. Guess what? He's going to make the move now under one of the best offensive line coaches in NFL history.
Well, they needed help up front. There's no doubt about that. This guy is
Skoronski.
And he is athletic and has been for a long time. Good dunk of basketball up there. Oh, here we go. The back surgery. Hold on. Is it? Oh, wow. Raj is wincing up there.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. Let's all take a breath. I think he's okay.
Looks like he's all right. I don't know. He's fighting through it.
Dog Monte stretching. Dog next is stretching right now. She's going to have to come out early.
My next note literally was like, can be a little too aggressive at times. So nice. Plays perfectly.
Somebody bring some ibuprofen to the commissioner's green room, please.
Shades of Danny Shelton in years past.
Oh, my goodness.
Vita Vea.
That's right. All right, so J.C. Latham is on the stage right now, and he's going to bring his particular brand of nasty to the AFC South and protect Will Levis, who this team drafted in last year's draft. And you can see the Titans draft room in Nashville celebrating the pick.
Yeah, when you look at Latham and you watch him there at Alabama, there is so much power up top. The ability to just torque defenders. That shows up in the run game, and then you're not going to get through him in pass protection. He's just too big. Uses those long arms and just toys with edge rushers. As long as he stays square, you're not getting through him, and you're not going to be able to beat him. Talked about his ability to anchor down, sink down against those power rushers and absorb them. See a lot of good rushers when you're playing in the SEC. This was the area. The stunts in the games, a little inconsistent in that department. This is going to be the calling card, is what he does in the run game. Mauling dudes, turning, torquing, and finishing guys. So the Tennessee Titans, this was a need they had to address. I'm sure Alt would have been a great pick for them, a great option. He was off the board. They had to get the next guy, and that was J.C. Latham.
And so the Falcons have made their selection, and we'll get to that in a moment, which means the Bears are back on the clock. But for the moment, we welcome J.C. Latham to Primetime, presented by Nationwide. Take it away, Kate.
JC, the commissioner just confirmed to me he is okay after that bear hug.
Okay, yeah. I had to let him know, man. A lot of excitement.
What was going through your mind when you went in for the bear hug?
Yeah, I mean, just let them know, pick them up, show everybody the strength and all that stuff. To stand there, all lineman gets picked, you got to pick up the commissioner. So carrying out tradition.
You nicknamed yourself the Trench King. You pride yourself on being a leader.
Absolutely.
With a first-time head coach and a young quarterback in Tennessee.
Yeah.
How do you want to help set the tone?
I mean, yeah, just living up to the standard of what Alabama is and the tradition of what we are. Like I said, being the first one in, last one to leave, and just doing anything I can to help the team success, no matter what it is.
You've lost, 20 pounds since Alabama's season ended?
Yeah.
How NFL ready do you feel right now?
I'm ready right now, man. I'm excited and ready to get rolling. Yeah, I'm ready.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, the Falcons pick is Ian Rappaport.
Rich, you guys are going to say I'm crazy, and you probably did when we talked about it in the pregame show. The Atlanta Falcons are considering Michael Penix at number 8. And I know they signed Kirk Cousins, gave him $100 million guaranteed. It is all about succession at the most important position. A lot of people think they're going to take a defensive player, maybe edge. Michael Penix is very firmly in the mix for the Atlanta Falcons.
How about them apples?
I was wondering when the chaos was going to start. Apparently now.
And didn't you suspect Atlanta was going to get out?
I had heard them. They did a lot of work on.
And here they are sticking, and if they go at 8, as Ian has suggested, with Michael Penix, that's a big-time change.
They did a lot of work on Penix. I just thought with the talk of the Rams moving up, that was convenient for both parties. Rams get their defensive player they want, and then you have here a situation where they get Penix later. Apparently, they're okay with just taking him right here.
And you talk about a succession plan. We all saw that great show. And what did Logan Roy always tell everyone? Bleep off. And that's what Atlanta did exactly. You guys, we're not taking it. We want our guy.
He also said you're not serious people. And that would be a wild state of affairs if we're about to hear the name of Michael Penix Jr.
Hat tip to Ian. Ian said this hours ago.
Yeah,
he brought this
he
up.
set it up as a possibility.
If this is the way this goes.
They're really going to do this? And whatever happened to the edge rusher? I thought that's where we were going with Atlanta.
Here we go.
With the 8th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Michael Penix Jr.
Well, there it is.
Wow.
Washington. That is the first surprise
now
of the NFL Draft, to say the least. The 4th quarterback off the board is Michael Penix Jr. He is a top 10 selection, and he is going to the place that just made a very expensive investment in a veteran quarterback. And it's kind of wild that Kirk Cousins arrives in Atlanta. He signs in Atlanta. He leaves Minnesota
bastards.
to go to Atlanta.
You already took
Minnesota
Kirk Cousins. They're going to take him from us.
Selection, having J.J. McCarthy get one more pick closer to them with the Bears
Greedy
on the clock,
bastards.
the Jets after them, and there is the Vikings. But again, placing that aside, Michael Penix Jr. is going to Atlanta.
And this is a huge arm. You see Joe Flacco's name on the bottom. The way the ball spins out of his hand, it is very reminiscent of Joe Flacco. And you talk about Justin Herbert just spinning the football. It is ridiculous with his arm strength. This is from the Texas game, attacking over the top down the field. He can play on top of the coverage. This was a question mark. In the Texas game, he answered it. His ability to beautiful ball. Again, outside the numbers, he's fantastic. Over the top, he's fantastic. And when you need to fit the ball in tight windows, watch him beat the safety with this throw. Again, it looks like he's throwing a Nerf ball. Yeah. He has got a ridiculous arm. Now, there's injuries. That's something that some
And
teams are
next, the
concerned
Chicago
about. His
Bears
4
are back
seasons
up.
in Indiana all ended in injury.
The last 2 years.
He's been healthy the last 2 years, and he's played out of his mind. But this is fascinating because we were talking about he's a little bit older. Yeah. Do you want to get him on the field? He's not getting on the field with Kirk Cousins in that contract right now.
Well, I'll tell you, when he gets on the field, all right, you said he throws a great deep ball. I would agree. He throws the best deep to intermediate pass in this draft, but it's more than just a throw, it's a pass. The ability to pass the ball with leverage down the field, when you watch him, everything is always away from the defender. We talk about 50-50 situations with wide receivers. Well, he gives his wide receivers better odds than that because the ball is always in the proper spot down the field. And I think that's an incredibly rare trait. He's got long arms.